pandemic got us into a reflective space and made us look inward to see what we can do for the world at large. As a self-expression coach, I became a catalyst for women and started Vani, a one-on-one coaching program for women on finding their voice, to speak up, to be visible. As a storyteller, I spotted there were many ordinary people amongst us leading extraordinary lives, making a difference to the world, and they needed to be heard. Thus was born You and I with Rashm Shetty, where amazing personal journeys with their uniqueness and individuality are showcased, a reaffirmation of the fact: open your eyes wider. The world is far more beautiful when we acknowledge the presence of both you and I. Our guest today is Padma Kalyani, who was inspired by her parents to look for the positive aspects of life. She quit her IT job after her son Kaushik was born so that she could spend time with him until he was ready to go to nursery. Little did she know that life's journey was going to take a different direction. Her son was diagnosed to be within the autism spectrum, and her focus shifted to supporting her son with early intervention services. She felt the need to equip herself with the professional qualification of special education so that she could help her son better. At the end of the course, the seed for her next step to start a social enterprise was sown during the pandemic, to provide skill development training for neuro-diverse individuals who will be part of her dream project, Suchiram Foods. Listen in as Padma shares her journey to becoming the founder of Suchiram Foods, a social enterprise. Hi, Padma. Thank you so very much for agreeing to do this conversation on You and I with Rashmi Shetty. It's such a pleasure having you, having gone through your website and seeing what you do. But you know what? I'm curious to know, how was little Padma to the Padma Kalyani that the world knows you as today? Can you take us through that journey?
First of all, thank you so much, Rashmi, for having me in your conversation. And I would love to share the journey of Suchiram Foods with you. And very glad that I got a space like this to share my journey. So thank you so much for that, for giving us this platform. Yeah, the little Padma is very shy, and until 2020, I had no idea what I would be doing in 2022. That was a completely unpredictable situation. I always live with. I have no idea what life is going to throw me up the next day, the next month, week. I have no idea. But then the change is the only constant thing in my life. So that has been the thing. So little Padma I wanted to finish up my school well, get into good college, score well, and get a job and settle down. So that was my objective in every stage of my life. So once I got settled with the IT job, I was done with that. So I thought I will retire as an IT professional, and I took it for granted. So that was until I got married. Then my son was born. Then we thought we will take a little break, or rather I will take a little break. So until he gets ready for attending some preschool or play school. So around the age of 2, we figured out that he needs some special attention, special support. So we went for diagnosis, and his language was not yet developed, and we found out that he was in spectrum. So then naturally everything got a different priority. I mean, the priority is the one thing that keeps changing every year, every now and then. So it will be good if you are able to adapt to that priority, accept it, so that your journey will be smooth. For me also it happened, the priority got changed. The focus was my son Kaushik, and then how to support him, making sure that his missed milestones are getting inculcated through therapies and other things, play dates, group sessions. name it, we have done it. So that kind of, it was a different routine, different lifestyle for some years. So we were completely focused on that one. So then slowly I got a, I felt a need for making myself equipping so that I supported much better. Rather than seeking external support, I can support in my own capacity if I have a better knowledge about what I must be doing with it. So then I did special education, BA special education.
Okay, one sec.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little. You said that you were very clear you're going to study, get settled, and then move on in life and retire as an IT professional,
Yes.
right? So here you are, an IT professional.
I did MCA, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
BSc
Okay.
Mathematics, then followed by MCA. Then
So here you are. If you did BSc Mathematics, you must have been a good student. How was it in school? You said you were shy. So was it that there was no extracurricular activity that you were part of? You were
I
an
was
above average student. How did school life lead
I
you?
was an above average student, and I used to always look for an opportunity to get myself in part of some extracurricular or co-curricular. So I was part of NCC. So I used to go to camps every now and then. I used to enjoy that. And whatever cultural fest or cultural activities the college is conducting or we are representing our college, that I used to take part. So this was in the undergraduation. Undergraduation was full of a little bit, I mean, half college and half out of college was the life. So that was really fun. So the learning happened everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. But what made you choose BSc Mathematics? Maths was a favorite subject, or your
Yes.
teacher in school influenced you?
It is because of a teacher who taught me maths in my 12th grade. So there was a, I went to a tuition with one IIT professor who gave me a very great insight of math, like a small cake. I mean, it is just as simple as blobbing a cake like that. So it was presented to me in such a simple fashion that I thought that I should definitely pursue mathematics in undergraduation. So it was my decision based upon one teacher who influenced me with the subject. Then I realized then I was inclined towards computers and I felt very interested, I excited about programming and other things. So I thought I should pursue computers. So computers came naturally to me since I had a math background. And so the choice were MSc Mathematics, MSc Computer Science or MCA. So I chose which were university and colleges I got. So then I pursued that. So in post-graduation, I took up the responsibility of doing the placement services. So everywhere I had that opportunity to go beyond my academics, not just settling with academics, going beyond my academics. And that part of the life was very enriching. That gave me so much experience and knowledge. And now when I look back, I cherish those things than the academic. Academic also happened, but more than that, the extracurricular activities or the placement services, they gave me much more confidence or much more, they built me as a person on a whole.
Okay.
So,
you said that you were a very shy girl.
yes,
So,
that was in my schooling.
yeah. So, what helped?
Yeah, somewhere down the line, I had outbroke all these things and came up to this level. So I think those things happened in the college. So until school, you cannot even, you can take my batchmates and tell my name, they wouldn't know me at all. So until school, I was like that. So college gave me much freedom to explore, and I think that's the great difference. I started reinventing myself and understanding who I am in first place. So I think college gave me that space.
I think from school, suddenly when we enter the portals of a college, there's so much of mental shift.
It has so much to offer,
Yeah.
and you want to grab everything. So I think that gave me an excellent opportunity to do whatever I want to do. So I really enjoyed those years.
Okay. And are you Chennai bred and brought up, or are you from some other city and town?
My father, he was a banker. So we used to shuttle once in 2 years every city in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So luckily, he made sure that we are not going out of Tamil Nadu so that our education is not disrupted much.
Yeah.
So I started in Madurai, then came to Chennai, then went to Trichy, then Madurai, then Tirunelveli, then every place. Then after my post graduation, I settled here in Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in Chennai.
Okay. So here you are, IT professional, married, and waiting for your baby to come. And you said you consciously decided to take a break, right? So were you one of those overcommitted mothers looking at your book, checking milestone and checking it with your child? How did you realize that your child was not reaching the milestones?
Yes, but I was not aware of that. I was not, to be very frank, I was not checking through the milestones and following it up. I just went by, I was just taking it very lightly. So I used to take him to the park, to my relatives' house, to wherever I can take him. So that was the thing. He was very social, but only one thing was he didn't develop this verbal communication. So that was the only thing which we found was a little difference, and there was a regression when he was around, say, 18 months. So a child who was quite social until 18 months, then he slowly stopped interacting with others, even to his father. So he used to cling to only to me, and I used to wonder what is going on. So then we usually take him for vaccination. We used to consult a pediatrician. Then we recommended for a assessment. Okay. So that is when we realized that he is in spectrum. So then I just take it. It's one step at a time. If this is the diagnosis, what is the next step we should be doing? Then we looked into therapies. So okay, let's do the therapy. So then they recommended for a play school. So we put him in a play school. So it was like a step-by-step process. Whatever they recommended, we followed it very diligently. So that made a good progress in him. So then he eventually landed up in an inclusive school, which did wonders for him. The school environment is so very healthy, so very positive. He's still in the same school. So that environment is very positive, and that inculcated much of his social aspect in enriching his social development. So,
okay. So Padma, here you just mentioned some time back that you did a special education course as well. So here you are, a mother holding Kaushik, trying to get him to get into an inclusive school. He's part of an inclusive school. He's on the autism spectrum, and you are taking help of therapists. So, and your life is completely occupied by Kaushik and his entire progress, right? What prompted you to go into doing a course yourself on special education? Because you were putting him everywhere, you were happy with his progress, but what prompted you to do the education yourself as well?
yes. So until his primary, until first grade or second grade, we didn't focus much on his academics because few things came naturally to him, like language. Language, I will differ here in the sense it is not expressive language. It is per se the syntax and the semantic of the language. So that came naturally to him, and he's a person with pattern orientation. Whatever is pattern, he is good at math. If you can teach science in a very pattern oriented way, he will get it. So I can understand his strength. I can understand his potential. So what can be supported to him so that he can leverage his strength to enrich other areas, to develop other areas. So that is when I thought. So then I realized it will be difficult for me or for him also to depend upon some external person who are liable to change every now and then. So if I'm going to depend upon a special educator in the school's setup, that person is going to be there for few months or a year or 2 years. Then the person would change. Then he has to adapt to someone else who has to understand him from the beginning, or what is his strength, how he works, and what is the way to reach out to him. Then they have to the time spent on those things will be the time spent. I mean, it will take some solid time. So then they have to start working with them. So that time lost is lost. I wouldn't say that it is in a negative connotation though, but still we will be in the same cycle every now and then. So it is better if you are able to see if which curriculum is good for it. In curriculum, what are the subjects you can do? Then you can guide guide him based upon that subject and curriculum, and you can have some external support to do that thing. To do the external, the final piece of teaching him that and making him write a board exam or making him complete schooling. So that support I can get from others. But the primary, even I was thinking that entirely I will support him with the homeschooling setup. Schools are supportive, but how long we do not know. There is surprise every now and then. So I was prepared to put him in the homeschooling so that he also understands, and I also able to understand him much better, give him much opportunity to explore curricular, co-curricular, other sports, music, everything, and whichever he likes, he can take up that stream. So when I was thinking, and I mean by we, myself and my husband, when we were discussing all these things, we felt somewhere down the line, homeschooling will be a better option. And then, if such is the case, I equipping myself as a special educator will add more value to this journey. So that is when we realized that it is definitely required for me to do that.
When it came to the diagnosis, okay, I'm sure it must have been a shocker to you with the diagnosis. What did you tell yourself to take it head on and then move to the next level of getting yourself educated on it and think so long term that the therapist is changing, the cycle again has to start from the beginning, and that's so much of waste of time. So maybe if I am equipped, so to move from denial to acceptance to actually equipping yourself must have been a journey on its own, right? Padma, at those times, who and what pushed you to find out the Padma within, to befriend that Padma within?
Yeah, so I have always been a person who will take things as it is. Nothing, no gray shade, or it is just black or white. So if this is the diagnosis, and I should take the next step. So that is the more realistic approach. So I am a person who is not more inclined towards emotional. I don't, generally, I am not a person who will just get struck with emotional and why it happened to me, why it should be me doing all these things. So luckily, I didn't have such thoughts in me. So the only thing I needed to do is the one good thing I should see is we diagnosed it around 2 years of age. So we had that early intervention time where we can much focus on this development, and we gave a very rigorous early intervention. So that I thought that it's a blessing in disguise. So even though the diagnosis is there, so we caught it in the right time. So we didn't miss much time. And the moment the doctor said that you need diagnosis, we went. So we didn't waste any time. So I have no idea of what autism is at that time. But I just simply followed my doctor's prescription. So this is what you should do. Then the therapist said, this is what you should do next. Then I went on the journey, or during the journey, I equipped myself like, oh, okay, OT means what? Speech therapy means what? Group session means what? Then all these things, and actually I also got to learn about all these things during the journey. So luckily I was not a person who was like that. So it helped me to get through this phase. And of course, the family support was there. Right from my mother, my mother-in-law, everyone. So they used to, whatever may be the case, they used to be there. rock solid. So I had no trouble in who will because my husband used to travel a lot. He used to be on. He used to be out for almost 2 to 3 weeks at a stretch, then come back home for 2 weeks, then go back for 2 months. So it was quite erratic. So during all these things, I had my family support and the basic, probably these things gave me a good insight of the actual Padma or who the real Padma is. So unless I wouldn't have got an opportunity to understand who am I.
Yeah.
So these gave me a good insight, whatever comes, I will take it as it is and I will move on. So
Okay. And how often do you meet this real Padma? How often do you spend time with her? Do you get time in your entire day to spend time with her? What keeps you going and like, yes, I'm going to do this?
yes, the one thing is keeping myself busy or keeping myself engaged in these things keeps me going. So if I get a free time or if I get a day with no activity, then I get worried. So I'm a person who wouldn't take much break or rest or relax. So then once in a while I do, but then on a daily basis, on a routine basis, I want to keep myself engaged and working around because we have I don't know I have now I am 40 and I have my stable mind, health, everything in place. So I want to make the best use of my energy and health in whatever way I can do. Being it working with Kaushik, being with Suchiram work, or being anything else, I want to make the best use of this time and health that I have now. So that keeps me going. That I cannot waste this time. I cannot waste this day.
Yes, a very beautiful space now to move into Padma the entrepreneur. Because Padma the mother, we have explored to a certain limit. Padma the friend to Padma, we have seen and met. Now, how did this journey, where your life was completely around Kaushik and everything you were doing, every step you were taking was around making yourself better equipped to help Kaushik and be there when he has progress? How did Padma shift from there into finding one more aspect of Padma, the businesswoman?
So this happened in fact, at the end of my special education course. So when I was done with that was during pandemic. So when I was done with the course, I got an opportunity during the course. I got an opportunity to work in schools, like one inclusive school, one special school with children with intellectual disability, and other special school with hearing impaired children. So in all the three setups, I worked for a month or so, and it gave me a very fair idea of how the children are being taught and what are the journey for them. For example, for inclusive school and hearing impaired, they have a typical schooling. Like they finish up 12, they move on to college, they go for work, they are done with that. So in case of children with intellectual disability, they have something called early intervention. Then they move on to functional curriculum. Then they move on to vocational training. So vocational training is the place where they'll be taught some vocations like mat weaving and agarbatti making and paper plate making, everything. But if you see the gender age band of the children or the students who are in this vocational training, it will be like 18 plus to 18 plus. It's the beginning of the bandwidth, and it goes as far as 35, 40, 45 also.
Yeah.
So but the amount of time they spend and the monetary benefits for that, it is not matchable at all. It is not at all fair at all. So for a person who's 40, 45 years old, still dependent on parents. Of course, they have to be dependent on parents. They have to have a pick up and drop service by the school. Otherwise, it is difficult for them to commute. And I'm not complaining about these schools or something, but they are trying their level best to support their adults, but they have a very, very limited resource in supporting. They are being paid a very, very minimal amount, which will not be even sufficient for a not even a food, uh, even a clothing for a month. It will not be sufficient. But I'm not complaining about the school because that's the best they can give. They can give an environment, they can give a opportunity to develop a skill, and they can give a very safe pick up drop and ecosystem. So that's the best they can do. And after a certain point, this thing also get dropped in the sense they don't find a way to reach out, or they shift. They don't find any school around. They just are locked at home, so they don't do anything. Leave alone, they are spending time outside. They don't earn. They don't go out. They become completely dependent on their parents or siblings or whoever is going to take care. So then I realized what we can do about it. We can, I mean, inclusion we talk about, we are seeing that in school. But after a certain stage, it is very difficult for the adult to get themselves an independent life. So that is a very long-term dream. But then we were thinking that what we can do, whatever small step we can do towards that will be a very meaningful step, is that I thought. So prior to that, I had offers from other schools, like they wanted me to join as a special educator. But I was always thinking that I didn't want to work as a 9 to 5 job, because I wanted to be very independent of my own timings. I want to do whatever I want to do in my own timings and space. So then I was a little hesitant to join all these schools. So then this thought came that what we can do. So we were in pandemic, and very classic example of what happens when world is almost shut down. One thing goes on is the food. So your business, your enterprise, you name it, everything is shut down. People are at home.
Yeah.
Only one thing has to move on is food industry. So then we realized the food industry is where we can pitch in. So I myself has from our own background of our own family culture, we have always been self-sufficient in preparing our own masalas and powders. So then I thought that we have something on our own, on our skill basis. Like we have something which is proven for ages. So why can't we just make that in use and put it in place where these people also can participate and do the work, and then we can bring out a product like that. So it was a very random thought and random topic and discussion. Slowly we registered a company. We took baby steps. Like it took almost 1.5 years for him to completely get into a better shape. But I am always okay to that space or that pace of growth, because that is very organic. In the sense, I know what I'm doing and I want to go in that pace, which is suitable for me. So we registered it around to 2020 end, I guess. Then 2021, we hardly could do anything about it. So in fact, those things were very, what to say, I will be much concerned about having started this, having that idea or concept. I am not able to progress anything out of it. So that struck me and I was concerned, but still we were waiting for a time to get us to the place where we are now. So slowly we got a couple of adults. Then we moved to a place. We have a very small single bedroom house that we have rented out as our unit now. So we have that unit, which is almost going to be a year now. So we have moved in a year ago. So from there, we have slowly started our journey. Then we did all formalities in this pandemic, like applying for FSSI and getting all the requirement for this business as such. Then we slowly moved, and now we are almost a year old now. So
This is so beautiful and powerful. So when you saw this one reality factor that in the pandemic, the whole globe came to a lockdown, but food was something that everyone was still dependent on, and something which is traditionally yours, the masalas, which they do culturally in your side of the family, is what you brought out. But where did you see making and selling of the masalas helping people in this spectrum that you thought you can make a difference in? How are the two connected? Where did you see the two meet? And what exactly are you doing to make sure the two meet?
This is the same approach I have that I had with Kaushik also.
Hmm.
If you have something on your own, you can put it in use in whatever way you want to.
Correct.
So if I'm equipped in special education, I can put it in use and I can make whatever I want to. So the same thing. I have a skill of the masalas of the traditional way of food. So this I can transfer it to these people and make this product. And I am sure that this product will not go wasted. Like people will come back and buy that. So I'm much sure about the quality of the product. So when I give that quality of the product, people will come back. So during this, I can also teach these people to pack this or dry or whatever the process of preparing this masala, drying it and frying everything. So cleaning, right from cleaning, everything I can teach them. And this itself is a vocation by itself. So with this, in fact, I'll be very, very happy that some adult who can come to us and we teach them and train them in the skill. And if they are much equipped and if they want to move on to some other unit with a better future or better opportunities, we will be glad for them to move on because we want that to happen. We want to develop the skill. We don't want people to stuck to us. We want to develop the skill, and with that skill, they need to develop. They need to progress in their life. So that's the aspect I'm looking at. So with this, these are all my forte, and I can put these forte into my use. And with these use, I can make it much more meaningful if I engage these people into this picture. So we have a disability first model. So which means that we engage people with disability as a first choice of employment. We don't call it as employment though. We call it as ex gratia. The payment, we make it as ex gratia. So because there is no binding between us. If they want to work, they can work. If they are not finding it suitable or if they are finding it little hard, they can quit. And there is no hard and fast rule for like 21 days of working day, nothing like that. They can work how long, how much ever they want, how long they want. It is completely flexible. So we want to give them a complete flexibility in the environment, in the approach, in the engagement as such, so that they are coming willingly to learn and slowly they are making progress with the skill.
Yeah. So what exactly do you train them in how to measure the ingredients, how much ingredient, because masalas is a concoction of different ingredients that you need to put, and each one has a particular measure, right? So is there a spectrum under which you decide who can do it, as to this is the factor that we are looking at because they have to measure here, this is the factor we are looking at because they have to learn how to clean it, this is what they do for packaging? How do you devise this entire people management process and see who gets what?
Okay, so it is depending upon the strength of that adult.
Correct.
So, for example, one adult whose name is Sridhar, he is very good at doing things faster. So he is not a person who can fry, because frying is the thing you have to do it slowly and gently. He is learning that, because we also give him opportunity to fry because he needs to learn that also. So he'll be very good at packing. He'll be very good at doing things faster and with precision also. He is trying to learn numbers now. He is trying to understand 250 grams is bigger than 200 grams. So that we are teaching him now. So we will literally say that 250 stop and go. 250 So we need to tell him this every pack he packs, not just one or two, not just 2 days, 3 days. It has been months now, but still we need to tell them until it becomes a note for him. He needs to understand, he needs to stop by himself, but majority of the time he is learning by himself. So sometimes we will leave him alone to do this packing, like measurement. He is still learning that, but still somewhere he will correctly find out and do that once in a while. So that's a surprise for us. In the sense, he also can learn it and do it when he gives that opportunity. There is no, people can learn and do mistake. So mistakes are accepted and warmly welcomed. So there is no problem. Nobody is going to penalize for the mistake. And that's the strength for these adults. Like there is no compulsion for them to do it right every time. They can do mistakes. And we will take that opportunity to learn them that this is the right way to do. So one other girl, Kashifa, she is very diligently will do anything. Like she will have her own pace of doing things. So we will have her doing the spraying and making sticking, or if there is any delicate stickers need to be done, we will give that. And they also prepare paper bags and other stuffs. So whichever forte is hers, then we will incline, we will slowly give that part of work to her. But objective is everyone should be capable of doing any work in this place. So there is no only Kashifa can do this kind of work, or Sridhar can do this kind of work, nothing of that sort. Everyone will be given opportunity, but if we have the time constraint, we will pick up people based upon this skill set.
Okay. And what is the minimum age group, Padma, if somebody wants to come and meet you, either a parent or a relative, to be part of your project? Is it something which is open all through the year for anybody to come and get in touch with you?
Sure.
And what is the age group minimum that you're looking at to train the people? Because you said there is no commitment or bond that you sign that they have to be with you for that long. So the ex gratia relationship that you maintain, what is it that you build in the person, and what is the minimum age requirement that from their end the parent can come to you with?
See, we invite the adult along with a caretaker or a parent. So it is an environment where they are working, or they are trained in that skill along with their caretaker. So mostly it will be the mother. So they always be accompanied with the mother, and they understand their pulse very nicely. So that's the greatest strength, because they are safe, and the parent also is kind of assured that this environment is very safe, and they are also most welcome in that environment. And with respect to the age, we are taking 18 plus, so that even if you want to call it as employment, it is 18 plus. We don't want to it is not like we can't train people just for the safety of the law that we have. We want to work with 18 plus. Even if we have people, or one girl was there around 16 plus, she wanted to explore. We were very open to do that also, because as long as they get an opportunity to explore whether this will be suitable for the adult, or will they take it, or will there be any challenge, so they can always explore that. So we always welcome people, but 18 plus would be preferable.
Okay. So they are like proper official adults when they come to you.
Official adult with respect to the law.
Yeah. So what are some of your products that you have as a product range, if anybody is interested? And if you're doing masalas, one very important ingredient for most masalas, at least, is chilies.
Yes.
So how do you make the person understand that this is spicy? So you'll have to be careful when you're packing it. This is something that you have to be extra careful about when you're cleaning jeera and things like jeera and all that. You have to have a very keen eye to pick it up. So how does that fine tuning in the training happen?
Right. See, these adults are already being trained by their parents at home. or at least the adults who are working with us now, they know that immediately when we have sambar podi, we have ada mix, we have idli dosa malapadi. Idli dosa malapadi is not that spicy, but sambar podi and ada are a little spicy. You can smell that chili. So the moment I say that it is sambar podi packing, they will immediately have double mask. So it is tuned to them so well that they are prepared for that. So in fact, they will alert other people in the environment to make sure that you put double mask because somebody is being packed. So if this is the awareness, because we talk about it. Sambar pudi pack panna porom, mask potukano. So the repeated instruction or the regular conversation in that environment, that guides them much better. So they feel at home and they converse the same way they do that at home. So Kashifa also, she is very, as you said, that like the cleaning jeera or any fine work, no? She will do it very diligently. The way she does that, I mean, she does it in her own pace, but she will do it very clean and neat work. So these are all her forte. So we will give those things to her, cleaning the millets, cleaning the grains. We will give it to her. So slowly we also train Sridhar also to do that. So, because he also needs to learn the skill. So that is also important. So we have that kind of thing, and we have like protocols. Like if it is going to be packing or cleaning, we have a head cap. And if it is going to be packing, we will have gloves. If it is going to be cleaning, we will not have a mask. If it is going to be packing of masalas like sambar puri and other things, double mask. So otherwise it is single mask. So that all these protocols are there. So if you are able to give them the framework clearly without any confusion, they will simply follow that. There will not be any confusion. And you can focus on just training them in the numbers and whatever skill they would require. So you can focus on that. The rest will be taken care of by themselves. So I don't need to tell anything. It's been so many months now. They are on their own now. So I'm glad about that. So whenever they make a little progress, they do something on their own. I think that's the greatest award I can get. Yeah. So I feel that day my day is done. So I'll be so glad that they could do that on their own. So that is what I am targeting at. This skill they need to do, now we are supporting their parent or their caretaker or me, whoever is available in the environment, we will be supporting. Slowly we are weaning off that support, and we want them to be completely independent in their activity. So when they achieve once in a while that one, we will be like cloud.
Okay, and at any given point of time, how many people comprise your team?
Yeah, at present we have 2 adults. So people are quite interested in joining us. We have quite a long list of people who have expressed that they want to join. Okay. But given the bandwidth of business we have, we wanted to grow really very organic, and we want to have a very slow growth. In the sense, I want to, I don't keep deep stock. I will prepare based on the need. So then this week we have probably some 5 kgs or 6 kgs we prepare. So once if we push everything to the market, then we prepare everything afresh next week. So we take week basis. So our bandwidth of business is quite small. So we are self-sufficient, or we are sufficient with 2 people now. So when the business grows, we would gladly include many more adults. And that is what I wish to. We wish to branch out to other avenues, like not just with masalas. We are also doing snacks and savories, like savories and sweets. We have a cloud kitchen partner who does that for us. So we do that repacking. So we can't do every product on our own because we don't have the team and the bandwidth and the infrastructure. So that is quite heavy for us. So whatever we can do, we can repack. So core products we do from the scratch, manufacturing everything, cleaning everything. So the other thing like snacks and sweets, we repack. So those things also they are learning now. So they can identify the product the time they see that pack. So the product. So this is Sky Murukku, this is Tengural. So these are all within few weeks they learn the product name, the ingredients name, everything. So that's a good thing, and we want to branch out to other department also. Slowly, we are planning to do that. So hopefully, we are able to do that. The
Oh.
seed was sowed during the pandemic, but then we were sticking to that thought. We want that to materialize, and we were just hoping that things will come to shape. And still, we were exploring that. Then 2021 beginning, I just got a very small dry grinder and everything Amazon, right? So I ordered in Amazon, I got it, and I used to prepare the masalas. And there was one girl living in our locality, and I used to deliver it at home, and she will pack it at home and give it to me, and we will dispatch it to courier. So it was a very how we were working from home that time. So that was the model. So then once the pandemic was kind of settled, and we were also people were also started to move out or come out of that, then we slowly look for an setup like independent unit kind of thing, very small space, so that they also have a culture to come to office and work and then go back. So that's the main motive of that.
Okay, so that
So
means it's a year old.
yes, it's a year old.
Okay, awesome. And when it came to marketing, how did you do your marketing? Just through word of mouth and social media?
Yes, initially it was like that. We started with our friends and family network. Then slowly they started getting it regularly from us. Then our apartment and the neighborhood apartments. And then we slowly started to reach out to apartment communities. Like where I live in a place called OMR, Old Mahabalipuram Road, where there are a lot of residential communities. So we thought we will reach out to residential communities. That way, there'll be a branding of our product, so that we can also talk about what we are doing. So every weekend we make sure that we put up a stall in any of these communities, and in some communities we go monthly. Every month we go once. So there are quite a few apartments who are very welcoming and who are very positive and who wants to engage us every now and then. So those are all very enriching experience. So people welcome us with wholeheartedly they welcome us. So we plan to reach out to residential communities now. Slowly, if things take good shape this year or next year, we also want to visit corporates so that we reach out to them. So this is basically for branding ourselves, so that they also know about this Suchiram Food as a product and as a work we do, what we do. So that's our objective. So the bottom line is we want to meet the customer in person and talk to them, and they need to know that if they need anything, they can directly reach out to me and place an order, get things done. So that's the flexibility I want to give them. So people used to get masalas and other things for their abroad travel. They used to give us 1 month ahead of time, and we will pack it pakka, and they get it and distribute it in abroad with their relatives and other things. So that's the kind of bonding we have with our customers. So that is what I wanted to grow, so that it grows organically, so that we have a very strong base, customer base, so that they understand the product and the purpose of this social media.
Yeah, this is really beautiful, especially the way you are explaining how right from the beginning there's one thing that you kept reiterating: everything is step by step,
Yes.
everything is organic growth. But in this process of going step by step, logically organic growth, was there some moment that you can recall which told you that yes, you're doing it the right way and this, Padma, is what you should be doing? Was there something which happened with one of your team members, or you saw something, any story that you have, Padma, where it shifted within to tell you that yes, Padma, you're on the right track.
Yes, couple of things. Like once we were covered by the Hindu newspaper. In downtown, they covered our story, and the same way I had a conversation with that editor and the person, the correspondent, and she got all the details. And when the story was published, it was the primary person was the adult who was working with the Sridhar. So Sridhar is working in Suchiram Foods. Suchiram Foods took a backseat, and it was a story of Sridhar. And the moment we saw that news and the kind of pride and happiness the family got, I think I felt this is what I should be doing. Like you can't give them. You can't give this opportunity to anybody. It is not so easy to give this opportunity. So I was so glad. So then I was feeling that because they were had this opportunity of cherishing Sridhar's journey and publishing this in a newspaper and sharing this in their friends and family circle. It was a great pride moment for them. So what more I can ask for? Yes. So that's the greatest moment. Then I felt I should be doing this. So whatever may come, I should stick to that and I should be focused in doing this.
Wow. That was for you. But for the rest of the world during the pandemic, everybody went inward. We were forced to take a pause, and we just realized we were going on a treadmill, and all we had to do is switch it off and get off. And it needed a pandemic to tell us that.
Right.
So the whole world, globally, there were so many lessons people took from the pandemic. What did Padma take from the pandemic?
Yeah, see, I was no one in the pandemic. When the pandemic started, I was just someone who I don't know, who cribbed about the pandemic, who cribbed about sitting at home, doing nothing and doing the household chores, so all this. But the moment this thought came of starting something like this, then that gave life in pandemic. So it gave us light that we can do something of this sort, and we can slowly invest this time in planning and trying to see that what we can do with the given setup or given situation. So I always take one step at a time, and I always have a thought that the priority keeps changing every now and then. So if I have 5 balls at a time, I should be ready to drop any ball anytime. That's the kind of mindset I always have. So I will take up the Suchiram Foods. Kaushik is also supported. So if that is going on, so then parallelly this also can go on. Unless both of them are not going to get disturbed each other. So we can slowly balance these two. So we were trying to figure out how we can go about it, all this. So I should say the positivity came because of this thought that we are going to do something of this reach. So we prepared ourselves during the pandemic. So the rest of the moment we got this idea, the rest of the pandemic was fully focused on something that we are going to build. So probably that period was little productive than cribbing about this pandemic. So we got that. In other words, my husband was working from home all the time.
Yes.
Previously, he used to travel left, right, and center. So he was almost all the time at home, and we can discuss length and breadth about anything at home. So that gave us a lot of time to discuss and materialize to give a good shape to this. And in that way, I thank pandemic for that. So to give that opportunity for us to take that. So pandemic gave us those kind of insights to life, that your life can also be little meaningful.
Yeah, that is so powerful. And on that note, Three life lessons, because you come across as somebody with so much of positivity in your attitude, Padma. I really like the energy with which you talk, the commitment with which you are speaking, and the passion with which you set out on this journey, and you're so determined you're going to be on this journey. God bless you. But three life lessons that you'd like to leave us with over the years, whatever life has taught you.
Yeah. The life lessons is first one is however small your thought is, however small your goal or you can name it whatever you want to. Just keep focused on that. Don't get diverted. Just focus on that and take baby steps. It's okay. It's fine. There is no harm. You have to take a leap and grow. It's perfectly fine. So just stay focused on whatever you're going to do or your objective is or your goal is. That's the first one. Second one, take baby steps. It's okay if you're going to, if you're not going to take a leap in another 2 months, 3 months, it's okay. But make sure that every day you take that little baby step so that you are progressing. You are in the journey. You are alive in the journey, and the journey is also alive. So that's a simple thing, because that's the only thing I believe. We couldn't go out anything, we couldn't do anything, but as you say, we are thinking about starting a business. So, but what we can do sitting at home, that part gave us the strength to pursue this. So take that baby step. I learned about setting up a company and how to take care of accounts, all these things, because I had no idea of all these things. So we don't have that background. So this time I took I took it for enriching my knowledge in all these things. So that's the second thing. And the other thing is the only permanent thing is the change. The better if you adapt to the change and embrace it and take it positively, because that has been my mantra or bite from my I don't know, probably the time I became mother, because I should be having those thoughts in me, but that materialized, took its shape when I became a mother, because that's the only thing. The change is the only thing I can dream about, or I can take for granted that my life would be an IT professional until 60 years. But after 2 years, I'm doing something else completely different from that, and I'm out of that IT industry almost 12 years now. The other thing that kept me going is accept the change, embrace it with all positivity, and it will definitely give you back good things.
So powerful, Padma. You know, there are some moments when you meet people and you realize that life can challenge you, but there are moments when life also salutes you. And you are one such example of where life will only look up to you and salute you for taking every step, every stride with confidence from within, by finding that Padma who was there within you to make her your best friend. Beautiful journey, Padma. Honored to have you on You and I with Rashmi Shetty. And thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, and it gave a very great perspective of what I am getting. So
All the best to you, Kaushik, your husband, and your entire team. And I'm
yes.
sure you're going to make the difference that you set out to make. God bless you, Padma. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
With that, we come to the end of this weekly quest of You and I with Rashmi Shetty. Do let us know if you know people who make the world beautiful. Write in to rashmi.thethirdeye@gmail.com. That is rashmi.thhirdeye@gmail.com. Come, let's explore this amazing world together, both you and I.